What up, guys? I'm gonna show you how to transform a shitty rental kitchen into something that you actually like. Sort of like. It's a bit like putting lipstick on a pig, so you can't really do too much, but you can still make it feel a little bit better. Here are my top tips for doing that. I used appliance paint to paint my fridge. I had this really sad and unfortunate refrigerator. It worked, and I didn't really want to buy a new one. I mean, it's one thing if you want to invest in that and you know you're gonna be in your space a long time. I didn't. And I didn't really want to invest in it. I did that in my last place and ended up having to sell it back to my landlords for way less than I bought it for. I bought appliance paint. It was the easiest thing. I did one coat and it completely transformed everything. It made it feel new and fresh. It looks like real paint that would be on a fridge, and it just kind of blended all the white together. If I could say my kitchen had one thing going for it, it would be the fact that it was white. I think the thing that made the biggest difference in my space was hanging a giant mirror above the stove. It just kind of started reflecting back. I could see what was going on behind me, because otherwise you're in this galley kitchen and you're like way back here all by yourself. So it kind of brought in light. My door's usually open, which is opposite it, so I can see out. If someone's sitting on the sofa over here, I can see them. And suddenly I'm feel a little bit engaged even when I'm staring at a wall. And when you're looking in the kitchen, it just sort of opens it up, like there's a whole nother portal. I think when you don't have a window and you really wish there was a window, or you wish there was another room, throw a mirror in there, it'll bounce some light and it'll open everything up. Another favorite tip that I always do in the kitchen or the bathroom is a non-kitchen or bathroom rug. So I got a cool little runner. I actually found this runner for $25 at a thrift store. It was a really good score. And I just think it kind of gives a little personality in here. Everything's white. I didn't want to paint it because it's not that great to paint. I was not trying to highlight anything. So I felt like a little floor color kind of did that for me. I swapped out my hardware, which is a super easy way to upgrade any cabinetry. I didn't want anything fancy or even cool at all. I didn't want anything that would even stand out. I feel like these are the worst cabinets ever. I feel bad, but I think somebody made them by hand. They're a little wonky. They're not even really the same. The cabinet were in weird spots. So I just figured I'm gonna go white. At first I wanted clear, but they were out of clear in IKEA. So I went with white, and I just kind of like it. I feel like, let's not talk about it. Let's just let it all blend in. We don't need to make this flashy. There's nothing flashy going on here. Another great tip is to take the doors off of your cabinets if you can, and just have a little bit of kind of look of open shelving. It's a really easy way that you can then put it right back on. I didn't do that. These were so crazy painted over, and I sat there with, you don't even know for how long, trying to get this off and could not get it off. And so I decided, instead of ruining the whole cabinet, I'm not gonna do that. And the other side I couldn't do because they were kind of wonky. I was like, no one wants to see that with the door off. But if you can, taking your door off just makes it look so open and so nice. I love adding personal mementos to the kitchen. Since I don't just want it to be a really clean, clear space, I wanna add a little bit of personality because, let's face it, we need it. I have a little dish always. It's great for rings or whatever to throw in there while you're doing the dishes. Maybe a little lip gloss. I have my little Buddha. I love having maybe a little flower out, or just kind of cute ways to kind of dress it up. Little antique or vintage little things to hold it. I have a little thing that holds my sponge. Just kind of little mementos that are personal, that just kind of cuten up the kitchen space. All right, so I want to tell you guys, this is my real kitchen, how it is. So I did that on purpose because I always have my Vitamix out on the counter because I like making smoothies. So I put a little wood block under there. I just think it kind of breaks up the space a little bit, adds some warmth with that. I have kind of trays kind of leaning up and at the end of there. And trays just kind of give you a way to organize stuff that would look super messy all over, but when you put it on something or put it in a tray, suddenly it just looks a little bit more corralled. And put your cute stuff out, why not? And I love hidden storage, so I have little urns, a little ice bucket, and I hide my vitamins in there, I hide dog treats in there. So it's all out on the counter, kind of looking cute, but it's all disguised because on the inside, it's the stuff I use every day. Every kitchen needs a plant. Whether it's an herb garden, flowers, anything, you have to have a plant. I love having some kind of like seating or stool in the kitchen. I put a little stool at the end there, which seems kind of random. The truth is I don't open my oven all the time, so it kind of works there. I feel like it sort of gives this like feeling that it's not just like all the way at the end, there's like something coming a little forward. Plus it's weird, but I actually sit on it. Like I sit on it all the time. And I'll just sit there and chill out, look on my phone. Sometimes I'll eat and sit in my kitchen and eat at the counter with my little stool. I know it seems kind of sad, but I think it's kind of cozy. And then when someone's in here with me, I move it over and they sit there and I feel like I've got a little like hangout going on. Another thing that I swear by is non-overhead lighting, even in the kitchen. So you might be able to swap your ceiling light to something that's really cool. You might not be able to, but regardless, put a little tiny lamp kind of down in the counter. It just looks so cozy at night. When you turn that on and it's like evening, it's just, I don't know, there's something about it. It's just a little cozy vibe, like someone's in there, your little night light. And I personally believe everybody looks better in non-overhead light. So I got the mirror, I got my low lighting, so I always look great. I also painted the laminate countertops, which I know is not the best option for every renter, and probably something you have to ask your landlord about. I didn't. Maybe no one will notice. And I don't think I did the best job in the world. I got advice from a contractor at Home Depot. He told me to go to Sherwin-Williams and get a sealant that actually goes on garage floors and it will take heat, and it works super well. He's done it on rental kitchens that he's worked on that he owns, and I did not take his advice. I went to Sherwin-Williams and then talked to the guy that worked there and wound up with a water-based sealant, which I think the oil-based would have been the way to go. For me, it is still worth it. I still love it. I love the look of it so much more. It just feels cleaner and more modern and cleaner. Just, I don't know, it just makes me really happy. So it's imperfect, but I gotta tell you guys, amazing. Like I love it. I do not regret it whatsoever.